And then I said to my doctor, that's an infectious mole. So sorry. Didn't know we were recording.
Like, so I grabbed my stomach. I was like, oh no, it's gonna make a noise.
Oh God, no. Not the rumbly tums, not the bubbles.
Rumbly tumbly.
Not the bubbles.
Not the bubbles. Oh, the intros are getting fabulous.
The intro. Come on. I mean, listen, I don't have an infectious mole that I know of.
True.
That I know of. Hey, do you need a boat built? No. I know a guy.
Oh, Jesus.
Get it? Noah.
Oh my God. No more dad jokes. No more.
I really should. Also, I didn't shout out anyone last week.
I didn't either, and I forgot.
Okay, so really quick, give us the intro. We'll take a minute.
Let's do the intro.
Yeah,
okay.
let's do the intro.
Let's do the intro. This podcast is part of the You Run Podcast Network, where you can find all sorts of fun and exciting podcasts like ours. You can check them out on Instagram, TikTok, other places, YouTube. They have a website, which is also always linked in the show notes.
Always.
And with that being said, welcome everyone to the Paranormal Misfits Podcast, where the curious roam, the weird feels at home, and horror is just another day in the office. I swear to God, I hope it catches that in one of the short clips, because I'm going to use that on you.
Oh my God, yes. You can always just screen record it. Like,
look at this.
I feel like we're way chipper this week. Last week was just gloomy, even though we're in the same outfits right now for like for fucking whatever purposes. But yeah.
Yes.
Did you introduce yourself and say your name?
Oh no, I didn't. Hi everyone, I'm Chrissy.
Hi everyone, I'm Nino Daniel. Welcome back to Paranormal Misfits Podcast, part 2 of the Island Boys. I'm going to go really quick on this. This episode entitled The Island Boys Part 2, Epstein and the Deepfakes. Before we get into that, we have a couple of shout outs. We have like double the amount because we
have double the amount because we missed it.
We missed it last week because we were so focused on talking about two people who are incestually having relationships with each other to promote an OnlyFans and get money because they're broke and they mismanaged their money from their viral TikTok that they got to make an album from Kodak Black, but it didn't work out for them.
Wow, look at that. You just recapped the whole episode.
Oh, no, there's a whole recap. Oh, no, I'm still going to professionally recap this. But do you want to start off with your shout outs and then I'll go into mine?
I want to shout out my bestie, Pam. She listens while still working for my old company that I worked for. And my husband, because he always likes to say he's my biggest fan. So hi, hubby.
I love that. You know what? On that note, I do want to shout out my husband. He is just an absolute gem. And I hope you make it to this part of the episode. And I don't tell you enough how much I love you. And I'm so thankful for you. And thank you for supporting me. Thank you for being in my life and picking me to spend the rest of your life with. It's a very easy thing to choose my husband every day because he's just an amazing, amazing man. And I'm so blessed. And I thank God for him every day. The other person I want to shout out, La Llorona. No, I'm kidding.
And Desi, if we're going to talk about La Llorona.
I feel like Desi and La Llorona are just two pods in a pea right now. I do want to give a shout out to two specific groups of people. For a second, well, actually, just fucking let me have this. I do want to give a shout out to my good friends over at Scaredy Cast.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thanks for the shout out. I do also want to give a shout out to my good friends over at Sanctum of Horror, which is a haunt attraction in Arizona. And you guys are going to be hearing about them a lot more.
That's exciting.
Who else? Have I shouted out everyone from my wedding party? I think I have. Shout out to my friend Andrea and her husband Joe, who live in Seattle.
Yeah.
And their wonderful family. I miss you guys. I love you guys.
Yay.
Are we ready to do a little recapitulation? Which is the expanded form of the word recap.
Oh my God. Am I ready? No, I'm not.
I'm not ready. I don't want to talk about this shit. With everything that we talked about last week, I'm like, can it get any worse? And then I was like, oh yeah, I have a part 2.
Oh yeah, it does. It does.
It does get worse.
It does get
You
worse.
know how like me growing up closeted gay, people are like, it gets better. This, it gets worse.
It does. Oh, real quick, guys. Make sure that you are
fuck.
liking and following us on all of our social media and giving us a 5-star review when you can in Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and wherever else you're streaming us. YouTube, leave us comments, watch all the way through. You know,
send us suggestions for episodes to the Paranormal Misfits Podcast Gmail. And also in the show notes, in the description, you guys are also welcome to buy our merchandise. Please do.
Yeah. Please do.
Please do. Like a sticker or something.
They're fun.
It helps us. It helps the show keep going.
Yep.
Please. I need to pay my electric bill. I just got a set of string lights.
This AC is getting ridiculous.
I bet you're telling our high last week was like 118.
Nope. Have it. You can have it.
Anyways, let's do a quick little recap. Like a genuine recap. Let's give these boys an ounce of respect.
No. They don't deserve it.
Yeah, they don't do that. I'm sorry. They are felons and they perform incest on each other, so fuck that. But basically what I wrote. Two twins. Okay, so this is like in the comedic form, so I'm going to try to deliver this as best as possible.
Okay.
Two twins decided to be terrible humans, tattoo their entire body, try making waves on a rap career while incarcerated. Ah, yes. We're back talking about Alex and Frankie Venegas, or better known as Fly Selja and Cody Yak Red, or the two twin brothers who admitted to having sex with random women while living under their mother's roof and now blew their social media millions, which resulted in them turning to OnlyFans and selling incest as a form of payment because they openly discussed making a deal with the devil.
I would just like to say, because one of them, it does have a child. I hope that mom has full custody. Because no, you should not be letting your kid around.
Ma'am.
Ugh.
That part.
Oh my God. And I usually don't say stuff like that. But you know what? This really deserves it.
No, like, for real. This genuinely, like, going back to that before we get into this week, because this week we're obviously wrapping up what we're the whole segment on them.
Yeah.
I want to specify my whole interest in them was because they kind of came up during the time of like COVID and a lot of different people were coming up for different like viral reasons. Different things were happening. People go viral every day. I speak from experience.
Yes.
But this particularly got on my docket of things to talk about because on what planet, in what century do we live in where in order to promote making money,
we have dropped down first off, not to say they had them to begin with. They were very not so heavy in morals, but we completely threw them out the window.
Well, yeah, like if I again repeating what I said last week, if an amount of money was presented to me and I had to do things with my sister that were sexual in nature, keep your fucking money. I'll actually give you money to leave me.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
That's disgusting. So it's things like that. And you want to talk about horror? Okay. These people are horrible.
Yeah.
There's terror for you.
God.
Never mind. I'm not even gonna. There's just, that's gross. That's fucking nasty. So one of the last things that we
people pay for it. Let's just remember that people pay for their OnlyFans. Sorry,
and it's recurring payments. It's a subscription.
And on top of that, girls are willing to sleep with them
on camera. That's disgusting. That's gross. It's fucking nasty. I have friends who are sex workers and they are way classier than this. I have friends who are cam boys and cam girls. I have friends who are strippers. Much classier than this. Much classier. Also, stripping and being a sex worker can be classy if you do it tastefully.
Yep.
This shit, disgusting. Last week, we ended up wrapping the episode with a conversation about a photo that surfaced.
Yep.
Where it appears that Alex and Frankie are the two boys in alleged question
Mhm.
being embraced by Jeffrey Epstein on the
Epstein Island?
Little St. James Epstein Island. I don't know if I get into this. I'm going to make sure that I just talk about the distance between Miami and Little St. James.
Okay, go for it.
But that's the thing I want to bring up at the end if I don't already in my show notes. I'm so sorry. Okay. All right. So this is literally the grossest and most insane man, Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
Who vitriolically hates little kids and loves blackmailing the rich and well-known, which we know.
Yeah.
There have been photos of Jeffrey Epstein in borderline every fucking person.
Yeah.
Of political or social or some level of fame, like stature, that's the word?
Yes.
Stature? I don't fucking know. I speak 3 languages. 4 if you count math.
Oh my god. Before you go too far into that, I actually ran across on Netflix. They have a Ghislaine Maxwell documentary.
Yay, I saw that.
Did you watch it? Did you see where, like, you haven't watched it?
No.
That is wild. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
It's wild.
I don't know how well I can trust Netflix, though, because Netflix likes to very heavily push a specific narrative. They
do. So this one kind of seems like Maxwell family trying to save face. There's a lot of, they do interview some of her friends from like way back when, and one of the friends was like, what she tried to do was terrifying. Like, she had been trying to do like
creepy shit.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yes. Oh, it makes total sense. Like, photos of Ghislaine go back to like when child stars were like on the sets of their movie. Like, it's been insane. I don't deny it. I mean, I don't disbelieve it or whatever I'm trying to fucking say.
I know.
Sorry. Words are hard.
There is a little excerpt in there where they kind of highlight on like the relationship between her and Epstein, where they originally were dating and then they weren't dating, but he wanted her, and she did this, and this is where I'm like, ugh. She would go to like the colleges and go befriend freshmen at the colleges and bring them back to like their place. It's just nasty.
To do what? Study?
Because Epstein actually had, I don't want to compare it this way, but if we're thinking in terms of like how Leonardo DiCaprio doesn't date over 25, let's just say Epstein's actually into much younger.
Gross. Okay.
And she would go find girls. So we're just gonna leave that there. From my understanding, at least in that one, yes, it was just girls.
Okay. So, getting back into this photo.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
So, after some deep dives into the photo and researching what the Island Boys have to say, the internet results are in, and they're inconclusive. Some folks who are, again, tech experts and geniuses at the shit, they did several tests on the photo, and the results were like a mixed bag of it being AI and / deep fake and it being real. So I've seen a couple of videos where they do like they fuck with the light, they fuck with like the
like the layering of the
red
photo
in the photo and like the pixelation and like the black light, and they literally analyzed this photo probably more than we analyzed who the hell killed Princess Diana or John Benet Ramsey. True. So, the Island Boys then made a video for Cameo. Addressing Ghislaine and Epstein. This is the point that they did this was because they got on Cameo and someone had paid them. So usually when you get on Cameo, and I've done personalized videos before where like for a set of money, mine are cheap as hell. Mine are like $25, and I've had like some people book like smart friend things.
Right.
And 1 second, I'm adjusting. I need that one office chair that gives you like the room to do crisscross applesauce.
Yes. Did you see it's on sale?
I didn't, but back to this.
Okay.
So
it's not an ad,
I was
guys.
like, I didn't, but back to this. So basically the thing is with these cameo videos, you pretty much are paying a notable person a set amount of money, and like I've seen it done to where, like, let's say Lisa Rinna hypothetically is on, and I could be like, hey Lisa, my friend Chrissy really loves you and your time on The Real Housewives. Can you just send her some words of encouragement because she has a big test coming up, and maybe just give her like a Lisa-ism just to kind of boost her morale.
Okay.
That's what like but like these people basically tell them, like, so whoever bought it, and it could have just been them on their own, but it was the Cameo logo, the Cameo, like,
yeah, I get what you're saying.
The Cameo, like, whatever thing,
watermark.
the logo watermark, thank you, was there, and they were like, hey Ghislaine, tell Jeffrey that and I was like, you guys are really, you're fueling the fire in an insane way. But then the Island Boys apparently have come forward and openly stated they do not know who Epstein or Maxwell are. Prior to the filming of this episode, Chrissy and I talked about trauma, like
altering your brain.
So if you go through a traumatic event, chances are you're going to positively alter the event in your brain from memory for like down the road so you can feel safe about what the fuck happened to you.
Right.
Or your brain is just going to completely omit it.
Yep.
Like the human mind is stronger than what we all fucking think.
Yep.
And again, I'm not team fake or real photo, but I'm curious. You've seen the photo.
I have.
What do you think?
I was going to ask because one of them looks slightly taller than the other. Is there a height difference between the two brunette, boys?
I
mean, it's kind of hard to tell with their hair.
It's kind of hard to tell with their hair, and also the video that I've seen of them making out with each other.
Yeah.
Their hairlines come like they're like the hairlines for them come really close, but again, I don't know.
The way I always feel about things, right? If you're, I hate to say it this way, hit dog hollers, basically. So if you're trying to hide and you're guilty, you're more likely to bring the attention to yourself, which then brings more guilt, as opposed to just kind of like how Beyonce and Jay-Z kind of handled theirs, where they just like, say what you want, I'm going to sit off to the side and not really say anything.
Are you talking about the pregnancy?
A few things, yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, they sit off to the side. Then at that point, you're not really omitting, but you're also not giving into the fire.
No, you're not concluding it.
Right. You're not. Then these boys are not smart.
No, obviously
Clearly.
Not. They made $1 million off of a viral TikTok. Signed a record deal with Kodak Black, which again, I will remind you, was the rapper that was damn near fucking hoping for a presidential pardon from Trump prior to Biden being inaugurated. This statement does not indicate anything about political beliefs, nor are we pushing a narrative. It is simply just the fact.
Because especially when it comes to these two, right? Not the Island Boys, but the other two.
Ghislaine and Epstein.
You get like a mixed review when it comes to the different celebrities and politicians and CEOs. A lot of them came out and said stuff, and then especially, actually, you know what? Let's just talk about the royal family. Because that right there,
Prince Charles, like
Andrew,
wasn't he all over the flight logs?
All over. They had photos. Everything.
Oh yeah, they like hung out.
Because supposedly Lane was best friends with Andrew prior to meeting Epstein, introduced them, and apparently it was like two alpha males constantly trying to like one up each other.
Can I ask this?
Go for it.
Are commoners who are not like members of like a royal prestige even allowed into Windsor Castle? That's a genuine question. I'm not trying to be ignorant.
I don't think he lived in the castle though. because you know, like they all have like their own estates off to the side. Like
Sure.
he, I think, had well, no, remember he also had that really. Well, he was the one with the divorce, right? Fergie, was he the one married to Fergie? Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
Not Fergie the singer. There was a
Oh,
royal
okay. Because
named
I was
Fergie.
like, what the fuck?
No.
You're telling me, oh, makes sense why there's a song called London Bridge. I come every time I come around. Anyways.
But, I mean, so, like, again, that's another one of those hit dog holler moments where, like, people who were trying to save face didn't do well, right? It didn't help them in any way. It just made them more guilty, like the Clintons. Or like, who else was it?
Go back to my first episode as a guest on this podcast.
Right?
That'll recap that.
But yeah, no, that's, I mean, to make a video and then to make it on something that people pay people to go on that site and make videos, like.
No, people pay you to say what they need you to say.
So fucking stupid.
So you're okay. So
Jesus.
Thank you. Basically, thank you for telling us you don't have a thought of your own. Got it.
Yeah.
Before we get into the second half of this episode, just want to remind you guys to please make sure that you like and give us a 5-star review on wherever you're listening to this podcast, whether it is Apple or Spotify or iHeart. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a follow on Instagram, Paranormal Misfits Podcast. And in the description of wherever you're listening to this podcast, there's an opportunity to buy merchandise. Buy a shirt. And it really helps us. Helps us keep going. Helps us keep like the fire alive. You know? Like between us.
I mean, spooky season is upon us, guys. And Nino and I. No.
Spooky fucking. Shut up. That's gross. Anyways. Chrissy is going to take just a moment to tell you guys a little bit more about the You Run Podcast Network, and we will be right back.
Reflections, the podcast about all things pop culture from the 80s, the 90s, and beyond, whether it's movies, television, music, pro wrestling, toys, food, fashion, you name it. Anything I find interesting or anything I have a connection to, I reflect on this podcast. So please join me on this journey where I recount my connection to pop culture, fun details and facts, as well as interactions with folks all over the place. Join me, Pop Culture Reflections.
And as a reminder, this is part of the You Run Podcast Network, where you can find other fun and entertaining podcasts just like this one.
Okay.
Cool.
And we're bippity boppity back.
Oh, Jesus.
So, here is a little bit of an internet theory.
Okay. Love some internet theories.
Love some internet theories. One thing about them internet theories, they gon' internet theory.
Yeah, they are.
So please do not trust this as gospel, as it is from the internet.
Yes.
First words on my show notes, but there are several videos on that photo being made by other creators and other people who can professionally analyze photos XYZ.
Okay.
There are also several videos that show where the island boys grew up, which is Miami, Florida, and Epstein's Island being so close. I mean, we're talking like a 1.5 to 2 hour flight.
I was about to say, is it kind of like if you go all the way down to Key West, you're at like the southernmost point, and technically you could throw the rock to Cuba?
I was gonna say, yeah, you can literally swim. Like if you go to Key West, you can practically swim to Cuba.
Yeah.
I mean, don't.
Right.
So the conspiracy theory on the internet behind this is that those boys, Alex and Frankie Venegas, known as Fly Soldier and Kodiak Red, they sold their souls a long time ago as children in exchange for freedom from the Epstein Island. How they got to the island and why was not mentioned, but the internet claims it could be something with their mother needing money as a single parent and selling her boys off to Epstein Island for different seasons.
So
Go
kind of
back.
like Yacht Girls.
I was going to say, go back to Yacht Girls.
Mm-hmm.
I do not claim this as my own opinion or fact. I am simply stating what I found on the internet via research. I want to make that very clear. The portion of what we just said in this episode, Chrissy and I do not claim this as an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
We do not claim it as a fact. It is simply regurgitating what we have found on the internet. All we are doing is sending the message out on that particular part, along with everything else in these last two episodes that we deem alleged, unless
Yes.
otherwise proven factual, like incest with your twin brother to sell OnlyFans. Ew. So, okay. Some might say that since Miami has no traditional island,
Right.
the name that came from that name of the Island Boys came from them spending time on Epstein Island.
Okay.
Now, the other thing is, remember, you have to remember, they are of Cuban descent.
Yeah.
Cuba, very much its own island.
So,
Tell me more.
I mean, okay. Most people embrace their descents, right?
Their heritage.
Their heritage.
Yeah.
I know I
100%.
embrace mine.
I just sent you a photo of myself.
Right. I sent you mine too. So.
Yeah. We exchanged photos of what we looked like when we were younger, and I'm telling you, Chrissy was a
I was
yes.
It's dark. How do I say this without, I don't know. Okay, so like especially in hip hop, right? They embrace their culture. They embrace
1,000,000%.
They embrace it all, right?
1,000,000%.
And they're not the first Cuban rappers from Miami.
Don't we have Pitbull?
That is, yes. Who is obviously just as pasty white as they are. But he embraces it because I personally, like, I was a huge fan of his first CD, Pitbull. Like, it was my thing.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. But, like, he embraces it all. So, like, I don't know. Pitbull never went, I'm an island boy. Like, fucking, and he came from Cuba.
And he actually talks about, like, he raps about coming from Cuba and being an American and living in Miami. Like,
yeah.
There's no, you can't tell us otherwise. That's fact.
Right. But the island, honestly, I thought the Island Boys were white. I didn't know they had Cuban descent. Like, do they? They don't rap in Spanish.
No,
they don't use any Spanglish.
They have no like dialectical. They have no like influx or like weird things in their voice.
Yeah.
That would even remotely mention them being from Cuba.
So then are we saying that the dad that we have no idea who he is that passed away was the Cuban descent and the mom might have been the white woman?
Potentially. Well, actually, I saw clips of the video.
Mm-hmm.
Not the video, the documentary. Let me know if you've gotten any response on that, because we filmed parts 1 and 2 back to back. So it doesn't. Y'all are getting, also, I'm in Bosnia right now. I am physically in Bosnia during the airing of this episode.
Yeah.
No, I really am.
But like,
and so what I wanted to say really quick, sorry. Really quick. In the clip of their documentary, the mom looks cute. Like, literally, if you look up Island Boy's mom, she's like, she looks very Cuban. Like, in my opinion, Island.
Oh yeah, she looks like how my friend looked.
Yeah, she looks Cuban.
Right.
And again, going back to we don't have any photos of their dad. Not that we would, not that we could find any. I mean, I didn't find any.
So it says both parents are Cuban.
Okay. But I think the descent part is the fact that they were born in America.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Like my sister is US born.
Mm-hmm. But she's
of Bosnian descent.
Right.
Whereas I was born in Bosnia. But again, at the same time, that my sister is no more or less Bosnian than me.
So the dad died of a heart attack. I want to see, like, there's no pictures of the dad, and that's kind of, it bugs me.
my thoughts are like, what does the mom think of this?
She's in the documentary, apparently.
Oh yeah, she's in the documentary.
Yeah, no,
So I don't know. There's a whole thing. There's a whole rumor that like the Island Boys, because they're of Cuban descent. Like, yes, Cuba's an island, but then they jump into.
But we don't embrace our heritage from the island is my issue. Like, we're calling ourselves the Island Boys simply because of the fact that, like, oh, my parents migrated from there.
Or the rumor and conspiracy theory that they are former children of Epstein Island. And again, this is just what the internet is saying.
Right. I
don't know. Before we get into the last part of this,
right,
because I want to talk about the sad truth of deepfakes.
Okay.
Please take what we say with like grains and grains and grains of salt.
Like this much.
Like, please don't. We are simply just reporting some things that we found on research based off of also our own opinion of what is fact. I'm okay having an opinion of what is fact, and what is fact is that they make out with each other to promote their OnlyFans, and I think that is disgusting, and that's my opinion, and I'm standing on business.
They even have videos on TikTok where they're like embracing
each other
in a not so brotherly way, like.
Oh, well, no, the videos I saw of them making out, that's on YouTube Shorts.
Oh my!
I'm not even fucking kidding you.
Yeah, no, I'm just.
Shit's gross.
Ugh.
Anywho.
Okay.
So, I want to get into the deepfakes, and I also want to talk about a member of the hip hop community, a true, actual member of the hip hop community that was recently brought to tears at a show because of deepfakes.
Okay.
So, given that the photo of the two boys and potentially the two boys and Jeffrey Epstein can be considered a deepfake, we have to address the elephant in the room on that topic.
Okay.
I didn't know if I was going to sneeze or yawn. I hate those. Okay. So as of recently, some deep fake photos of Megan Thee Stallion have come out that show her in sexually compromised positions, which some people say is why she was crying during her tour.
I mean,
there's so many ways you can spin this.
Right.
Like, what I will say is that the deep fake AI thing getting a little fucking ridiculous.
Oh yeah. Like, you're messing with people's psyches at this point.
You're messing with people's careers.
Yeah.
When you have a deep fake AI Taylor Swift cover of a what's that one The Weeknd song? I'm trying to put you in the worst mood. He went cleaner than a church shoe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Starboy. There's a Taylor Swift version of Taylor Swift's voice, AI singing Starboy.
That's insane.
And it sounds just like her.
Oh my
just
God.
like her. Intonations and all. So the photos of Megan Thee Stallion have reportedly been wiped clean from the internet. And this brings us back to there being a deep fake video of which shows one of the Architectural Digest interviews. Have you seen this one?
Okay, yeah.
Have you it's not Architectural Digest, I'm so sorry. It's one of those like 73 questions with Vogue or whatever.
Yeah, no, yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
But have you seen this video?
If I have, it's been a while. I don't really remember it.
Okay. So evidently it's a deep fake. It's a really fucking good deep fake. Oh. Like, it is a really, really, really convincing deep fake.
Okay.
I think the only thing someone did is they listened to like the audio or something, and like they can hear like the little like digital like markup, whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
That's what they were like, heads up, that video is fake. Because the video of the 73 questions, the deep fake of Diddy, is him admitting he's bisexual. At the height of his like federal escape. Mind you, Diddy still has not been arrested.
Yeah.
He has not been arrested.
Nope.
This case has been going on since November. Diddy hasn't been
Yeah.
arrested. Jeffrey Epstein's client list isn't released.
No.
Ghislaine Maxwell's being protected.
Yes. Yeah.
All of this shit.
Right.
And on top of that, it's an election year. And on top of that, what the fuck was that debate? Anyways, we're not.
No.
Again, by no means are Chrissy and I pushing any type of political or religious narrative. We just simply have opinions on things.
Yeah.
And you can choose to listen or not.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
The deep fake of Diddy.
Right.
Is literally the guy who does the 73 question goes in and he's like he'll be like, what's your favorite flavor for coffee?
Yeah,
like,
or
what did you
what
do?
is your morning like? Or
yeah.
They're mind numbing.
One of the questions was, so do you like men or women? And he's like, well, no, the first question was like, what do you like to go by, Diddy or Love? Call me Love. Okay, Love. Do you like men or women? It depends on what I'm feeling. It's like a minute-long video clip. Ooh. AI everything. Oh my God. I get worried for us because now people know our voices. Mm-hmm. We've said enough words on this podcast. We've given vocal inflections. I'm worried for us. Mm-hmm.
No, I agree. I mean, this AI,
It's too fucking insane, dude.
It is.
So going back to what I was talking about being deep fakes being compromising. This can not only compromise someone's reputation, but their entire life. Mm-hmm. It is getting harder to distinguish what is real and what is AI, depending on what you search for and what you want to believe.
Right. Yeah.
Because now we're getting into a point where AI, someone can have a perception of something. Mm-hmm. Someone can have a genuine perception of something and put that into an AI creator tool and put it out there for the internet. And all of a sudden, their perception of an opinion of something is a hard proven fact because it's on the internet.
Yep.
But we can prove that it's on the internet. We can't prove someone's desire to make something a fact. Which is why smear campaigns exist. Smear campaigns are basically both political parties going after each other, smearing each other's name and putting it in the press and calling it a fact because it's in hard proof media. Same thing now with AI going into perception and opinion. Mm-hmm. You can legitimately have an opinion on someone or something. Yeah. Generate a deep fake. And be like, well, this video exists that proves this. No, this video exists because it proves your confirmation. It's confirmation bias.
Yep. Like we talked about in the Conjuring episode.
Literally, when we talked about
he used his, how do I say this? He used the Conjuring movie as his point of reference for research on the history.
Oh my God. The guy who
mm-hmm. And then same thing for the Warrens. When they research, they pick things that fit the research, not all of it.
Again, confirmation bias. Mm-hmm. This is just the worst case scenario of it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Absolute worst case scenario of it. What are your thoughts? Tell me where you're at with thoughts on deepfakes, AI, the photo itself. Do you believe it's real if you've seen it?
I mean...
Well, you brought up a point about height differences.
Yeah, that's where I was. And they did show them. And the thing is that I mean, unless I physically see it, I have no say. Right? They tried to...
By physically, you mean a print.
Yeah.
That can be arranged.
Because, no, thank you. I'm not talking to them.
No. No, what I mean is someone can literally just print the photo and show you.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I want to see one from his, their mother.
Of them as kids?
Right. Because there is another photo they used as a means to disprove it. And they're both blonde. Right? Bright blonde. So when I saw the Epstein one, I was like, one of the kids is awfully short than the other one, and has really dark our dark hair color. And I mean, I looked at the Island Boys, right, and one of them does have dark hair, now, but that's not to say he hasn't dyed it somehow, even though.
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
Well, even in some of the photos that I've seen of the Island Boys, one of them always somehow has slightly darker hair.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one because it's hard to fucking distinguish what these guys look like when they are covered
in tattoos.
in tattoos.
Yeah, and continuously cover as well.
They ain't got much more real estate left.
I mean, all they gotta do is go over the real estate again. We've seen the ones where people are literally blacking out their arms. The blackout tattoos. I hate those tattoos.
I have a whole thing about that because the majority of the men that are like bodybuilders in Dubai or like Australia, like the Middle Easterners, do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? You're already dark skinned.
Right.
Why are you trying to pass as black?
Yeah.
As a black man.
Yeah. Deep fakes, I hate AI, if we're honest.
Hundo. For some things it can be good.
But like,
it can be a good supplemental tool.
We're not using it to supplement anything, we're using it literally to destroy people.
Also we're using it to eliminate people's jobs. Hello, Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
The whole thing with him canceling the entire like $800 million expansion of Tyler Perry Studios because AI is getting so insane where all Tyler Perry needs to do to make a movie is a laptop with good internet connection.
Yep. I mean, technically I could do it here at Riverside. I can build an episode and it can just have both of us talking because we've recorded enough on here. Didn't do it. But I'm not going to.
Don't do that. The way you would be down one less cast member.
I know, right? Like, I saw it and I was like, who would do that? But deep fakes, I mean, could the photo be fake? I don't know. That looks like a really, yeah.
That looks like a really...
And the fact, and I am still caught on this part. One, they have stated they have never left the United States. They didn't leave the United States till they were 18. The Island Boys. And calling themselves the Island Boys. I'm having a hard time.
Do they live on a street called Island or something?
I don't know.
That's my only other...
That's the only, yeah, because Florida is not an island. We are...
No, and Miami proper isn't even an island.
Nope. I mean,
like Miami Beach.
If you were in Key West because they're broken apart...
Yeah.
Like, okay, sure.
Key West is like the Hawaii of the West Coast.
Right.
No, East Coast.
East Coast. Yeah, to be fair, to keep themselves relevant, I wouldn't say I'd put my money behind it, but I have some inkling suspicion that maybe they had someone create the photo for them to drum up.
Maybe.
You know? Same thing with the whole selling deal with the devil thing. Like, I think one brother could have potentially actually used his other brother as the focal point.
As bait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's
hard. I think also, regardless of what it is, when you're like an internet personality, and I don't say this because if you literally Google me, it comes up as Nino Daniel internet personality.
Yeah.
I think I'm authentic enough to be like, here are my thoughts, here are my opinions.
Right.
I mean, fuck it. I co-host a weekly podcast or talk about my life on social media. Like, I'm very like real, raw, true.
Right.
But it's hard for me to distinguish like when people like this who are just based off of like hype, clout, and virality. What are you saying that's actually true? And is everything that comes out of your mouth, is it planted? Is it intentional? Is it just a ploy to like push your career forward?
They're not even from Miami.
Where are they from?
Coral Springs, Florida.
Okay.
So,
is that like one of those like WASP neighborhoods?
Hold on, we're gonna find out. I thought it was funny.
Comment below if you know what the acronym WASP means.
No, it's near Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, so they're a little bit more like the north side?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it says it's a principal city in the Miami metropolitan area in South Florida, but it's not Miami. Really.
Oh.
I mean, it's its own. I just want to Yeah. Okay. Anyways, do I think? I mean, I'll throw the conspiracy
Do
out
you
there.
think?
Do I think they
No, the
might
question
be
is, do you
like?
think?
Sometimes I do.
It's like, she'll get it eventually. Proves my fucking point.
Exactly.
Proves my literal fucking point. Jesus
I do.
Christ. Continue
Um,
forward, my friend.
Could they be related to Epstein? Because Mama might have. That's a potential.
I don't even want to go down that route.
I don't either, but you know.
Yeah, Dad was never in the picture.
Mm-hmm. And
Not
we're not
us coming up with our own conspiracy theories.
And we're not sharing photos of Dad either, right? Like if you Google the Island Boys, you're gonna find their mom. And the dad passed away when they were 6.
2007.
Yeah, so like
I was still in high school.
I was fresh out and being a fucking menace.
Not much has changed.
No, not really.
Just the zip code.
Zip code, and you know, maybe I had to cool down just a tad for some kids. But,
maybe I was gonna say maybe like a family member or 5, like.
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, to come up and say you're the Island Boy, I'm still having a hard time. I'm also still having a hard time at the fact that like we're promoting incest,
and people are buying into it on a subscription basis.
And women are willing. Just.
That's fine. Don't.
I mean,
an island, but are you?
No, you're not. I just. Okay, so go ahead. Give me all you got.
I mean,
I feel like this 2-part episode has made me so speechless because I'm at the point of like, what the fuck? Like,
no, for real. This is I don't know why I picked this, but like I know why I picked this. But like I'm always like fascinated. Oh, and apparently there's sorry.
You're fine.
The ADHD is kicking in. There's apparently gonna be a show on Peacock, the TikTok murders. Did you see that?
I have seen it.
So the trailer, have you?
It's on.
It's on. Have you seen the episode?
For the Island Boys?
No, for the Peacock TikTok murders.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I'm gonna need your Peacock login.
Talk about that later.
We'll talk about that later.
So
I'm gonna need your I think
I feel like the internet has fueled this ridiculous, like, I don't know.
The internet is responsible for a large, and I don't mean like specific people. I mean the overallness is that criminals went viral.
Yeah.
Criminals.
Who weren't even 21 yet.
Who were teenagers.
Yeah.
Went viral. Mind you, they were 18, 19 in jail, and they came up with the idea October of 2021. So they had just turned 20. You guys, we have as an internet group, as an internet group of people that we are, can we do better, please?
Can we stop?
Can we do better and not make dumb fucking people, literally people who have nothing to offer other than what, like,
well, he's minimal, one of them's constantly in jail for abuse.
Well, the other thing that I was going to mention is Fly Soldier, the one who made the deal with the devil.
Uh-huh.
Prior to making the deal with the devil, he had to live with his baby mama.
Oh, jeez.
And that's what prompted him to make the deal. So, anywho, what I will say is this, just as a God-fearing man,
please stop making stupid people famous.
That part. What I will also say is that I hope Alex and Frankie Venegas are doing well in their life. I hope they genuinely have prosperous health and they make it to old age and all of those things. I hope they get to have a true family. I hope they get to know what peace is. I hope that their mother continues to live out a wonderful life and whatever that means for her. But I don't condone incest. I don't condone every single person turning to rap. Why not write a book? Why not be motivational speakers? Why not do something that it's like, okay, this is like a good-hearted person But you fed into the clout. You fed into the negativity of your life. And now look, who am I to say? Who am I to judge? I'm not God or RuPaul. But
yeah.
anything else you want to add before I...
Please don't let me find out y'all are paying a subscription to these boys.
I'm immediately blocking you. And if you're a Patreon subscriber and you of mine and you have an OnlyFans subscription to Island Boys, kicking you off, blocking you entirely. You will never be welcome back.
Not that I'm gonna go deep dive on today. Nope.
Also, join my Patreon. Anything else, my friend?
No. This one's completely got me speechless. Yeah. Okay. Oh, hey guys. Before we completely end the episode, please make sure you are liking, subscribing, and following us on all social media platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. Give us some 5-star ratings. Buy some merch.
Please.
Give me the cliff notes to their documentary so that I can send you a t-shirt.
First person to do it.
First person to
do it. Nino is still in Bosnia at the time of this recording. That's called planning ahead.
That's right. Our next 2-parter, guys, we're going to deep dive again into another alleged haunting that turned into a movie. So be on the lookout. Nino, anything else?
Well, thank you, Chrissy, for allowing me to become a co-host of the podcast. Shout out to us.
Yeah.
The fuck for doing all this work.
Shout out to the guys, to everybody who's been listening.
Yeah, shout out to all 23 of you.
No, there's 45. At least on Spotify.
We're going up again?
There's 45 there. There's 35 on YouTube. I need to log in and see what we have on Apple.
Please do. But yeah, thanks for listening to us. I hope you're having fun. We're having fun.
We are. Share some photos of your spooky season with us.
Yeah, it's officially spooky season.
Mm-hmm.
I think to bring us home and close this out, yes, stick around for the next 2-parter. It'll be a scary good time. Lean in to say this next part. We know that you have to go. Well, what do I always say? What's the fucking closing line?
We know you don't want to leave.
No. But like because story-wise, they have to go. Like we know you don't want to go, but since you have to leave, right? Is that the thing?
Yeah.
Okay.